Welcome to Study Session 5, Employers Association, Introduction. This study session will look at the concept of Employers Association and also discuss the emergence of Nigeria's Employers Consultative Forum, NECA. Learning outcomes. When you have studied this session, you should be able to define and use correctly the term Employers Association. Appraise the Nigeria Employers Consultative Council, NECA. Definition of Employers Associations. Employers Association is an organization for business and industry that provides and manages services that help create and maintain positive and productive employer and employee relationship. The association is dedicated to enhancing the employer-employee relations, promoting excellence in the management of the people, optimizing the ability of each employee to contribute to their organization's profitability and continued success. Employers Association is also a voluntary bureaucratic institution which believes in hierarchy and gives more emphasis on specialization and division of labor to attain its goals and objectives. They plan, coordinate, and control their activities through a system of communication for their orders and directives to be carried out. Therefore, it can be seen as an association formed by a group of individuals or organizations in protecting the interests of their members, especially in matters concerning workers and employers. Employers Association is one of the participants in industrial relations in Nigeria. At the beginning, Employers Association was unorganized due to the various prevailing conditions such as the image of trade unions, which was not a good one, the takeover of employment functions by mainly expatriates and the lukewarm attitudes of our local employers to genuinely engage in industrial relations with the workers. The central responsibility of Employers Association is the reconstruction of industrial relations so as to promote and support effective and comprehensive agreements in the company and in the factory. They are expected to assist companies in reviewing industrial relations within their undertakings. They should join with the trade unions to amend industry-wide agreements so as to facilitate orderly and effective collective bargaining within the company. Types of Employers Association. Employers Association could be classified into three main categories. This includes Employers Industry Associations. These provide a crucial link between employers in the same field of activity where members operate in identical labor and product market. They are generally made up of firms doing the same business. Trade group. Industry associations also hold membership in the trade groups. The groups discuss among themselves their particular labor relations, problems and the demands made by their respective house unions. In some fundamental cases, they pass such issues to the Employer Association for study and advice. The geographical groups. These groups include members in a particular area, which could be made of industry associations as well as trade groups. They provide free forum for discussion and solution of local problems among members and keep the umbrella body informed of their regional development. The group continuously liaises with employers within each industry and among various industries in a geographical area and tends to create a common interest among various employers in the area. Functions of Employer Association. Members of Employers Association derive a lot of benefit from the association. These include consultation, information, and education. It should be clearly stated that employers' associations' primary and secondary functions are: A. Encouragement of members to develop formal bilateral relationships with workers' unions. B. Advance good labor relation practice. C. Find out the source of conduct and ways of solving them. D. Provide adequate and relevant available information. E. Facing the unions on behalf of their members. F. Provide advice and assistance in the field of personnel management, such as recruitment and selection, testing, induction, training, grievance, processing, discipline, job, analysis, interpreting labor legislation and collective agreement. G. Regulating the labor market. H. Protecting employers against the demand of powerful trade unions. I. Providing management assistance to member companies. J. Protecting the interest of employers against suppliers of raw materials, non-employee professional bodies. In addition, members have access to the following services at affordable member rates. 1. Employee relations and regulatory compliance. These are in forms of employee handbook development, background checks, contract human resource manager services, human resource audits, sexual harassment prevention, affirmation action services and safety audits. 2. Training and assessments. These include leadership and management training, computer training courses, assessments, human resource training and seminar, team building and business training, lending library. 3. Benefits and compensation. These are in forms of benefit, consulting and administration, insurance broker services, employee assistance programs, benefit surveys, total compensation statements, new, specialization compensation services, wage and salary surveys and policies and services surveys. 4. Network, professional development, roundtable discussion groups and monthly meetings. 5. Employee customer satisfaction, obtained through employee opinion surveys, focus groups, customer satisfaction surveys and exit interviews. Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, NACA. The Trade Union Ordinance of 1938 made it possible for interested employers to form organizations to discuss employment conditions with their workers. However, the Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, NECA, was formed in 1957 at the instance of government, which sought to find a forum for employers' participation in national labor policy formulation, and a few of the leading employers of the period who wanted to present a common front on industrial relations before government. Fasoyin, 1980. NACA is a federation of employees as well as a parliament of employers and a constitutional monarch whose function is to advise, encourage, and warn members. Among the principal functions set out in its constitution are: 1. Organizing into membership all private employers in the federation. 2. Encourage the payment of equitable rates of wages and salaries via collective bargaining. 3. Dissemination of information through the newsletter called NECA News. 4. Membership of tripartite bodies on labor matters. 5. Training and education of members. 6. advising members on negotiations on wages, conditions of work, dispute handling, management of redundancies. 7. Representation to government on specific labor matters. NECA has maintained a stable growth from its founding membership of 54 in 1957 to 527 in 1988. Membership of NECA consists of ordinary members from industrial firms, employers, association, and associate. Members mostly from public, corporation, and government agencies. NECA membership 1957 to 1988. Year. Ordinary members, individual firms, employers association, industry. Associate members. Total 1957 52 1 54. 1962 244 248. 1965 293 300. 1967 338 348. 1970 367 379. 1972 410 421. 1975 466 478. 1978 513 527. 1980 641 665. 1985 514 520. 1988 513 8 527. Reasons for the late development of employers' associations in Nigeria. The following reasons could be adduced for the late development of employers' association in Nigeria. The growth of house unions and the practice of organizing workers on an enterprise level serve to discourage the formation of employers' associations, as employers prefer to negotiate with the leaders of a union formed within their individual enterprise rather than dealing with national or industrial union that would have emerged through the formation of employers' association. Employers were secretive and unwilling to discuss their labor relations practices with one another to avoid their competitors knowing the secret of their success. The strength of trade unions to make powerful voice in the industry, as at the time, could not induce employers to band together. The industrial growth up to the early 1970s had been rather slow, and the wage earning populations as well as organized labor was small. The system of industrial relations in the public sector had a discouraging effect upon the response of some private sector employers to collective relations. Reasons for the emergence of employers' organizations. The identifiable reasons for the evolution of employers' association in Nigeria include: A. The need for cooperation and coalition due to the increasing strength of the union and the collaborative effort of government in achieving this. B. The increased involvement of government in industrial relations in Nigeria. C. The 1978 restructuring of the labor movement into 42 industrial unions, along with other senior staff and professional association, accompanied by the creation of 9 employers associations, also served as indices. This brought about the crucial role for the NECA the establishment of NECA in 1957 with 54 members introduced a new but important dimension to the role of employers' association in industrial relations in the country. It provided a national forum for all employers to participate in the formulation of national labor policy. Though government encouraged its formation, the initial assistance and guidance to the association on its formation was provided by the Overseas Employers Federation, OEF. The OEF provided NECA with a model constitution, which probably accounts for the similarities between the OEF based in UK and the NECA, Fajano, 2006. The Federal Ministry of Labour encouraged the establishment of NECA as the employer's equivalent to the Central Labour Organization to provide a forum that the Ministry of Labour could consult as it did with Nigerian labour federations at the time. To bring its service closer to every member, NECA established trade and geographical groups in the 1960s. The groups are organized on a broad industrial basis where they provide more direct services to their constituents. In March 1977, 18 trade groups were under the broad umbrella of NECA. Each trade group also have employers' industry associations catering for specific segments of the larger industry. Examples include Nigerian Textile Manufacturers Association, Food and Vegetable Oil Employers Association, Nigerian Bankers Employers Association, etc. In March 1977, however, there were 10 geographical groups located in strategic places, serving as regional organs of the NECA. It must, however, be emphasized that employers' associations display considerable variations in their objectives as well as structure and organization. The reason is that some of the associations are registered under the Trade Union degree, while others were registered under the Company Act, and some were created by NECA and thus had no legal rights as such. Though all members of NECA share a community of interest, the extent to which they rely on NECA services is obviously determined by the individual constitutional setup. Organs of NECA. There are 4 permanent organs in NECA's constitution. These are the Coordinating Committee. It is the governing council of the association. It formulates policies, sets subscription rate, appoints staff for the secretariat. The membership of this committee include the immediate past president, treasurer, the director of NECA, the chairman of each trade group, the chairman of each geographical groups and that of other committees. The Industrial Relations Committee. Members are appointed and they report to the Coordinating Committee. It is the nerve center of the association, which involves the whole gamut of industrial relations matters. The Training Committee. This is concerned with the broad function of manpower, planning and development. The Finance Committee. This monitors the finances of the association. It also advises on subscription and levies and oversees major financial obligations of the association. Each of these committees may from time to time appoint ad hoc subcommittees on specific issues. The Secretariat, though responsible to the Coordinating Committee, executes the decisions of the various committees. The Secretariat has a director, deputy director, and 2 assistant directors who perform the arduous task of gathering data analyzing them and advising employers on all industrial relations matters that affect NECA. Legal status of employers' associations. The trade union decree extended legal rights to employers' associations interested in collective bargaining with workers. This implies that such organizations have all the rights and obligations that are provided for every trade union in the country. It must, however, be noted that NECA is a voluntary association, not registered under the trade union decree. It can therefore not enter into any collective bargaining agreement with any union or group of unions. Its advice and services are not legally binding on members. NECA's relationship with government and other bodies. The relationship between NECA and other bodies are seen in the following respect. Government can consult employers through NECA, and representations to government are made through NECA. The primary source of contact between the association and government is the Federal Ministry of Labour. The relationship between the association and government is both formal and informal, and contacts are often made on an ad hoc basis. Formal contacts are made through the association's representation on government-sponsored agencies. Government also consults NECA on matters directly related to civil service. The association from time to time initiates consultation with government either to express its constituents' view on a particular government labor or social policy, or to make suggestions on recommendations to government on a particular issue. NECA maintains a close relationship with International Labour Organization, ILO. Cordial relationship with trade unions and their leaders. The neutrality played by NECA on union matter is also to the advantage of the association. Study session summary. In this study session, we discuss the meaning, types, and functions of employers' association in general. We further discuss the emergence of Nigeria Employers Consultative Forum, NECA, factors that contributed to its delay. We concluded by looking at the organ's legal status and relationship of NECA with government and other bodies. End of studies session 5. Thank you for listening.